think this car costs $60, $70, $80,000. So you need a car that gets juices flowing, helps you gain some street cred, something that gets you into that cool kids club. But your budget is less than $20,000. No worries, I got you. Here are 5 amazing sports cars under $20,000. Number 5, Cadillac CTS-V. Right now, you're like, a CTS-V for less than $20K? You must be smoking some of that wacky tobacco. Is it totaled? Nope. This is a Gen 1 of the CTS-V, and man, while it may be a 17-year-old Z06 Corvette, which it really is a Z06 Corvette with 4 doors, it still throws uppercuts like Mike Tyson did in his prime. 400 stock horsepower from an LS motor and a Tremec T56 manual transmission, pushing it from 0 to 60 in just 4.9 seconds. Here's a 2007 I found online for sale for just $19,489. Sure, she's got some miles on her at 103,000, but hey, this is an LS. She will go to the moon and back. Now the pros, it's an LS motor. It is super reliable. It'll wake up the neighbors. With its hefty exhaust, it'll announce your midlife crisis to everyone within a 3-mile radius with passion and power more than Pavarotti ever had. Super easy to modify, super cheap to modify. It is super luxurious. It is gorgeous. I mean, look at it. Daggum, she's sexy. Now the cons. It's a rear differential that likes to grenade itself. However, there is a pretty good chance that the one you're about to get with that hard-earned money you got from your kid's lemonade stand, it's already been replaced because it probably already ate itself. It's kind of bumpy, but meh, who cares? Number 4, Lancer Evo 10th generation. The final model of the infamous Lancer Evo. If you're looking to step into the wide world of Evo, and good first step is here, the Evo X. Now, it may arguably be the least desirable of all the generations of Evo. It's more modern than any before, and it would help you adapt from that soccer dad / soccer mom mobile. It's also more affordable than the previous generations. Look, you want to be able to haul your kids back and forth with all their gear in the back, and you're used to that in your SUV. This will help you do that, and it feels like you're strapped on a cape like Superman himself. Here's a 2010 I found for sale for just $18,995 with only 52,000 miles on it. Now the pros. It's an Evo. It's a great introduction into that glorious world. It's a gateway car guaranteed to help you evolve into your very next Evo. The cons. Now, while it may have 291 horsepower, it is no Evo FQ. And for those of you who don't know, the F and the FQ, that stands for f***ing quick. It's slower and less responsive than any of its other predecessors. It does not have the famous 4G63 engine that, again, all of its predecessors had. Many say it's not a real Evo. I say it is. I say it is a great introduction. Number 3, you want a front mid-engine car that you can modify to your heart's content, and it will be guaranteed to appreciate in value. Then get yourself an S2000. I just did a full breakdown on the upcoming new S2000 about a week ago. The link is down in the description because I know y'all want to see that. Now, contrary to popular opinion, Miata is not always the answer. It's the S2000. It's sleek, sexy, gorgeous. She's a supermodel on a smaller scale with a bit of dietary constraint. Sure, she doesn't bench 405, but she's ripped and sleek, pushing out a respectable 240 horsepower in a car that weighs only 2,810 pounds. That is 1 horsepower for every 11.7 pounds. Compare that to the Mustang GT of the same year, which is 12.63. Interesting. Here, I found me a 2002 for just $19,500 with just 84,814 miles on it. The pros. It looks great rolling down the road just as much as it does standing still. It's comfortable. You just sit down, relax, and have yourself a good drive. It's easy to maintain. I mean, easy. It don't get easier than Honda, for crying out loud. You could practically drain all the oil from a Honda engine, drive it from coast to coast, and you'd be just fine. I'm kidding, don't do that. Please don't do that. Now the cons. If you are a soccer dad or a soccer mom, you won't be able to cart all your little youngins in there. It's only got room for one extra person, and there ain't much tech in it. By not much, I mean none. It's pretty sparse in there, but to be honest, that's kind of the way I prefer it. Number 2, Lexus ISF. And right now you're like, Lexus? On a list of awesome sports cars under 20 grand? What the heck? How does he have the LFA on here? Now hold on, bear with me. This one has a V8 too. All right, now that I got you back, let's talk about it. It's 416 horsepower rear wheel drive. And yes, it is a V8 from Lexus. It's got Brembo 6-piston brakes in the front. It has paddle shifters that, believe it or not, are actually responsive and kind of sort of work. I mean, it ain't no manual that you throw around, but it's still impressive, and to the untrained eye, it's a sleeper. It is a 5-liter V8. Hang on. I know another company that makes a 5-liter V8. Who's that? I can't remember the name of the company, but they do got a pony car with the same displacement, but it makes 4 horsepower less. By the way, that F in ISF, that name comes into play, and you figure it out real quick when you smash that pedal to the floor. You're gonna be yelling with great enthusiasm. I found this little cutie online. It's 2012 for just $17,995, and it's only got 91,594 miles on it. What's the great thing is it's a Toyota. That engine will last forever. The pros, as discussed, it is a V8. It is rear-wheel drive with serious performance from Japan that goes 0 to 60 in 4.7 seconds. Need I say more? The cons. Because this engine isn't quite as plentiful as the next one on this list, the cost for parts are a bit more, and modifying it just isn't as easy as some others. If you're a fan of Japanese cars and you know all about the glorious MPG that all of them get, well, the ISF dips into the 20s, which is pretty poor by Japanese car standards, but that's way better than the next car on this list. I mean, it blows it away. Number 1, it's my baby. It's the C6 Corvette, truly one of the most perfect cars ever made. And when you subscribe, you will be notified when I drive the number 1 car ever made. Get yourself a C6 Corvette, you are required to immediately change your clothing to everything Corvette related. I even got my Corvette underoos on right now. This ain't just any C6 Corvette. It's my C6 Corvette. For under 20 grand, you can get a base model, which is what this one started out life as. You want a car that's gonna be a GT? Got it right here. You want a car that's gonna be a track demon? Got one right here. You got a car that you want it to be a dragster? You got one right here. It's easily modifiable to do dang near anything you want it to do. 430 horsepower stock. The car weighs 3,217 pounds, which gives you 1 horsepower for every 7.48 pounds. Just check out what my buddy from Pushing Gears has to say.
Believe it or not, buying an old sports car can actually be a good investment. Buying a car like this is actually a big brain move. The only way you can go wrong is by not buying a C6. The Corvette looks are unmatched and timeless. When have you ever heard a woman say they don't want to ride in your Corvette?
Also, while the interior is kind of prehistoric by a lot of standards, my buddy Damian Knight, he made this beautiful touchscreen that does everything from your stereo to your climate controls and everything.
You can see you have heated seat controls, cooled seats, all your research. Got Netflix, Sirius XM, you got a Chrome browser.
Pros. There's a whole bunch from LS motor. You get you a 2008 and above. It's got an LS3. Below that is an LS2. Still a remarkable motor. They're plentiful. They're cheap. Parts are virtually like 10 bucks a piece, and they're high quality because there's so many. This car attracts attention, and I mean a lot of it. You'd be amazed just how many people think this car costs $60,000, $70,000, $80,000. Truly, you would be amazed. I'm amazed every time. Cons. Now, the saying is, when you buy a Corvette like this, you should be able to afford to buy it twice. And that ain't wrong, because you're gonna get one that somebody might have whooped on quite a bit, and you might have some suspension issues, you might have some transmission issues, some engine issues. It kind of stinks when you get something like that. But hey, just be careful when you're going and taking a look that somebody hasn't beat the ever-loving snot out of it. So all in, which is your favorite car? Or do you have another preference that I forgot to mention? Please don't say it was a WRX. I do not have a man bun, nor do I smoke a vape. It's just not the car for me. I'm kidding. Please don't hate on me. I like the WRX. Jeez Louise.